Yo, it's your boy Dctree, and this is Dctree-Nation, the channel on YouTube that covers hoops and heroes. And today we're talking hoops. We're talking about San Antonio Spurs, y'all. And it has been a few days since we've been eliminated from playoff contention. You know, a disappointing season in some regards, I will admit. But I'm still proud of this team. I can honestly say that, because coming into this season, I knew this was a rebuilding year. I knew that this was a year for young players to get better, and I think the Spurs achieved that. Now, they have a lot of work to do. I'm not, taking the onus off the organization or the coaching staff or the players themselves, but I can honestly say as a fan that I'm proud of this team because of my realistic expectations, and I'll talk deeper about that in a second, man. I was more proud than Thor was of the Hulk that time. I was more proud than Will Smith is of Martin Lawrence at the end of every Bad Boy movie.
Now that's how you supposed to drive. From now on, that's how you drive.
I was more proud than Okoye when she saw T'Challa come back from the dead.
He lives.
I'm proud of this team, man, and I'm going to tell you why. But before I jump too deep into it, if you like my content, please consider subscribing to the channel. Okay guys, I'm going to jump straight into the video. It's been a few days, so I'm pretty sure by now you heard the quote from Greg Popovich. That's why I don't have the exact quote with me. Basically, he said he was very proud of this team and the effort they displayed and the fight they displayed in the play-in and throughout the season. And he gave them a high honor considering he's been the coach of some of the best Spurs teams of all time. He really gave them kudos with that effort. So when I saw that, a lot of Spurs fans were kind of perplexed or confused by this statement by Greg Popovich, but I knew exactly where he was coming from when I heard it. Because one thing you have to realize about the NBA and about basketball in general, this is a game of talent. You get what I'm saying? At the end of the day, it's a game of talent. Sure, you can overachieve. Sure, you can have X's and O's. Sure, you can have a defensively sound team that gives you a chance to beat anyone. Sure, you can do things to be better. Sure, there's room for improvement. But at the end of the day, this is a game about talent. And the Spurs, unfortunately, right now, they do not have one of the top talents in the league. And that's what it takes in the Western Conference. You may be able to ease by in the Eastern Conference with that, team first mentality. But at the end of the day, you have to have a dominant player, an MVP candidate type player, past, present, future. You get what I'm saying? Because even your boy Morant on the Memphis Grizzlies, he's not an MVP candidate today, but he's definitely going to be one in the future. The Spurs don't have that talent. Much as I love my boy Murray, he's not there. Much as I love White, he's not there. Much as I love DeRozan, he's not there and will never be there as the superstar MVP candidate type player. Let's take Steph Curry, for instance. Steph Curry has been playing out of his mind for like the last month and some change. Unbelievable level of play. And guess where he is today as of this video? His behind is home, just like the San Antonio Spurs, because the Western Conference is too talented. Okay, now I'm not saying that Spurs fans' gripes and complaints about some of the decisions this team has made, Popovich's decisions to play veterans, I'm not saying they're not valid, but we really have to sit back and have a realistic conversation, a realistic thought process, and say, hey, are we really in the running of this thing at all? Because honestly, we're not. And that's why I don't think I'm as disappointed as other fans. Don't get me wrong, I'm a little disappointed. We had maybe about 6, 7, or 8 games that we could have won. It could have put ourselves in better position. But if we're being honest, I don't see us getting past the first round. So isn't it better for the team to get a lottery pick? Isn't it better? I'm not a fan of tanking. That's not what I'm saying. But if it happens, it happens. And us getting the AC to get bounced by the Jazz or the Suns, it just doesn't feel poetic, enough for me to really want it. I'd rather get the pick and live to fight another day. Now, the key word to that last statement is to fight. You get what I'm saying? So the Spurs do have a lot of decisions to make, and they have a lot of cap space. So I'm hoping they pull something this off season that can make this team better. But if you come into it with that mentality, if you just set our egos to the side and set away all the records and the 50 win seasons and all the playoff appearances and all that stuff, we set that to the side for a second and just look at this season. Didn't the young guys get better? Didn't Murray take a leap? And despite how you feel about Murray, he doesn't shoot enough threes or he's not consistent, didn't he take a leap? 10 points a game to around 16, 17 points a game. Didn't he have like 3 or 4 triple doubles this season? Didn't he take a leap? And that's all we could really ask. Did he take that leap? Did Derek White take a leap? Unfortunately, not as great a leap as he could have because of injuries and COVID and those things. But he still ended up averaging around 15 points a game. That's pretty darn good for having an injury-plagued season. Didn't Keldon Johnson make the leap, y'all? Didn't he make the leap? Didn't he do well? He did very much better than he did last season. A lot more playing time, a lot more starts. You get what I'm saying? His first half of the season was a lot better than his second half because I think teams kind of figured him out. But the young fella needs that so he can work in the offseason on his jumper, work on his offseason finishing with the left hand, scoop layups, under the rim, changing it up. He just would go straight up with 2 hands and get blocked. These are lessons we have to learn. So if we have a realistic expectation for the team, hey, this is a growing year, I feel like our guys grew. Another player that's really come into his own, especially towards the end of the year, was Lonnie Walker, man. I think Lonnie Walker is starting to get his confidence. I think Lonnie Walker is figuring out the league, figuring out his offense. And I'm well aware he had a rough playing game. I'm sure someone's going to bring that up. But for the most part, he was shooting the ball with confidence. He was driving with confidence. He was throwing it down with confidence. Lonnie Walker, man, he has some upside. Crazy athleticism, crazy feel for the game on the offensive end. He could work on his defense, but man, I like what I see from this young fella, man. If he works hard along with Murray and Keldon, man, we got us a little squad here, man. And one thing people don't realize, if you look at the numbers, and that's why I love numbers. If you look at the numbers, Lonnie Walker is averaging around 11.5 points per game, which is huge when you consider that's exactly what Murray and Derek White, dare I say, the fan favorite Derek White averaged last season. You get what I'm saying? Yet Lonnie Walker doesn't get the attention that Derek White does in a lot of regards, okay? But he averaged the same amount of points and percentages as Derek White did last season. Not even like his rookie year or anything, or his second or third year. Last season, my friend. So let's give Lonnie some love for the progression he's made. So when you look at the season in that regard, when you look at the season from that scope, you can't help but be proud of these guys because we're trying to get better. We're trying to get back because we obviously don't have the talent compared to the LeBrons, the Lucas. You get what I'm saying? Your boy, the Joker in Denver, man. These are stacked teams from a talent perspective. We got to have something to battle against that. You get what I'm saying? So hopefully the Spurs can try to whip up some magic because it's not going to be one player to save us. It may have to be 2-3 additions along with a DeRozan to make us relevant again. You get what I'm saying? All right, guys, that's it for this one. I talked long enough. Let me know in the comment section how you feel about the Spurs season. It's okay to be disappointed, guys. That's not what I'm saying. You shouldn't be disappointed. But at the same time, let's give these guys a little credit, a little leeway. The Western Conference is a beast. It's a crazy beast. Even the Lakers are number 7 in the West. Injuries, but they still number 7. Wow, they could have got bounced. A couple shots away from being bounced. So keep that in mind. All right, guys, check out the other videos on the channel, and I will catch you in the next one. Peace.